Well, welcome back everybody. Here's a video that probably nobody asked for, but then again, nobody asked anybody to count to 100,000, and look at Mr. Beast now. This is going to be tactical reloads with my Heritage Barkeep right here. This is not really meant to be taken seriously by any means. I am not expecting anybody to actually think, oh my gosh, I can do a tactical reload with a 6-shot Heritage Barkeep, or any kind of Heritage revolver for that sake. But no, this is just for having fun, LARPing around on the flat range with your buddies and being like, hey, check this out, I can reload this revolver faster than you can. Let's just go and do a quick close-up here of the little Barkeep. This is a 2.6 inch barrel, and I've done a whole video on this, as a matter of fact, specifically the Heritage Barkeep for conceal and carry, which is why I've got it in my concealed carry holster right here. And again, not to be taken seriously or anything, but if you're kind of sick and tired of carrying around the same old Glock and the same old Smith & Wesson, the same old Striker Fire polymer pistol, or 1911 or whatever, and you just kind of want to switch it up a bit, I thought, it'd be kind of cool to carry around something like this. If you are going to be walking around, say, a good neighborhood, or just out here in this beautiful, tranquil, piece of land that literally nobody is at, and you just want to kind of maybe, protect yourself against snakes or small varmints, something like that, then the Heritage Barkeep is actually a pretty sweet little gun to carry around. It's nice and small. It's, with the bird's head grip, it does have a very thick grip, but when you have this tucked away, even though it does kind of provide a bit of thickness right here, you can definitely conceal it pretty easily, as you guys can see with the shirt on. I like to carry the Barkeep with it in quarter cock like this, because that way, if you have the hammer all the way against the firing pin, it is not drop safe. So I like to carry on quarter cock like that. So let me just actually go ahead and fire off the 6 rounds that are in this cylinder, because then we can do our tactical reload, but I'll show you the steps. Alright, so when you're all out, go to half cock like that. What you want to do is you want to sort of grip the cylinder rod with your index finger while simultaneously pushing down on the cylinder rod button, release button, and that way you can pull out the cylinder rod like that. I'll go and show you guys that one more time. So basically, very smooth, very simple. And then you don't even need to open up the loading gate. You can just simply flick out the cylinder, and then go ahead and grab yourself another cylinder. For example, if you were to be carrying this Barkeep, you can carry another cylinder. And you might think, well, if you carry another cylinder with ammo in it, the rounds are just gonna come out pretty easily if it's just loose in your pocket. But you can take one of these little orange discs, and every Heritage cylinder, as far as I know, comes with one of these orange discs. It's kind of like their flag, to show that the cylinder is empty. And you just put it over the top of the I don't know, whatever, that like gear right there, and then as you can see, it keeps the rounds in there, so the rounds do not come out. So you can throw this thing in your pocket And you pull it out of your pocket, go and flick off the orange disc, and your loading gate will be open from when you fling out the thing. So you just go and stick it in there, take your guide rod, I kind of did that quickly. So while you line it up, and then while pressing the guide rod in, you press the guide rod release button, and it should just line straight up. You can go and flick the loading gate closed with your index finger like that. And I mean, you're already in half cock, so you can just go ahead and go to full cock and you're ready to go. And this is a 22 mag cylinder. So let's go ahead and fling this one out just like that. And then go ahead and repeat the process. Stick another cylinder in, close the loading gate, and fire another 6 shots. So depending on how many cylinders you want to carry, and how many times you want to do a Heritage Barkeep tactical reload, you can fire off as many rounds as you want basically with this 6-shot revolver.
Hey, before we go any further, after I filmed this whole video, I had a spark of ingenuity, if you will, and thought, why not carry spare cylinders in a speed loader pouch? So I dug out my old 357 pouch right here that can be worn, on a belt or just thrown into a jacket pocket, and realized that the Heritage cylinders fit pretty well in there. And you don't need the orange disc to keep the ammo in place, because the ammo stays secure when you have the flaps closed, as I'll try and demonstrate right here. So I have it upside down, shaking around, and then open it back up, and the ammo's right there. So that eliminates those little orange discs. But if you don't have a pouch like this, the little orange discs do come in handy. And obviously the cylinders come out pretty easily. And then one other thing that I kind of failed to mention, that if you are using the little orange discs and you just want to throw this in your pocket, I recommend taking a piece of painter's tape and just simply covering it like that. However, I think you will see from the footage that I dropped this on the ground and the ammo actually all stayed in without the painter's tape on. But that painter's tape is just a little added level of security. So, all right, let's get back into it.
Oh no, I dropped it. Sometimes you gotta wiggle it in there a bit. Alright, I think I could do better. Alright, I'm all loaded back up. Go and draw from the holster. And we are, just want to make sure it's on quarter cock. Alright. It's kind of a weird sensation firing six shots of 22 long rifle and then immediately right afterwards firing 6 shots of 22 mag. But it's one thing that's pretty cool about 22 revolvers is that usually you can swap the cylinders out and go for a much more powerful, more potent round in the 22 mag. Alright. Gotta take the thing off. This wind is blowing. Alright, I think we'll call it right there. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Just playing around with these little Heritage revolvers. Man, there's a lot of lead buildup coming out of there. This thing is actually really dirty. I have not cleaned it in the longest time, because you don't really even need to clean these revolvers. I mean, for the most part, like, these are very low maintenance revolvers. I mean, they're extremely customizable, as you guys can see. I've got the Viridian laser on it, so that laser is, I'm going to shine it straight at the camera, but I think you guys can kind of see. I don't want to break my camera, but yeah, the you can get all sorts of different grips. You get a laser on it. You can get different color, like hammers and triggers, different cylinders. This one in particular is actually pretty cool because it's got flames on it. Hopefully that is focusing. But yeah, I really like these revolvers a lot. With the where'd it go? With the bronze cylinder, where'd it go? Rut-row. There it is. So this right here is the bronze cylinder, and I think it also gives it a very cool, like, two-tone look. The other thing I've noticed too, that the more you use the cylinders, I think the more that, more that you use the revolver, the more, like, the it makes the gun a little bit smoother, and so you can put the cylinders in and out a lot quicker and a lot smoother with a well-used revolver. So when you first get these, you might need to fire off, like, 100 rounds or so before you can even fling the cylinder out. Whoops. Like that. But just give it some practice and see what you can come up with. My guess is that you'll probably have a lot of fun. So I'm going to go and gather up my cylinders here and my little disc here, and I'm going to go for one more tactical reload. We'll call it a day. It's an awfully cloudy day today. Alright, I'm going to start with the 22 mag cylinder here. I'm going to start with it in the holster.
Yo, homie. That my briefcase?
Oh, what just happened there? I don't know what just happened there. Might have had a little bit of a light primer strike. But looks like they all fired off. I think it's just fine. Yeah, I think it was just a light primer strike. Yeah. So that was some Remington Thunderbolt, so I wasn't expecting it to be 100% anyways. But that's about it. If you want to do a tactical reload with your Heritage Barkeep, go for it. It's just fun and games, really. But don't think twice about carrying this thing if you're just going for a stroll down the street. If you're walking your dog or something like that. I think this would be a really good little, little firearm to keep on you. And then if you want to carry around another cylinder just for backup, then you know that you can quickly, with practice, of course, with a lot of practice, you can definitely do a quick reload and get 12 shots off within, I don't know, what was that, like maybe 20 seconds? 20 seconds or less, something like that. So not too bad for a revolver.
So before I wrap up the video, I just want to point out a few more things that I forgot to mention while out on the range. So it will work with the Rough Riders that have these, push rods right here. And this push rod kind of does get in the way, though, of the cylinder rod right here. But you can still get to it. It's just a little more difficult. But as you can see, there you go. And then, of course, throw it in the half cock and it'll fling out. But I think that it's definitely easier with the Barkeep. Whoops. All right. Take two. I think if you close the loading gate here, see, like, that's not going to happen. So I think though, like I was saying, it's definitely easier with the Barkeep right here. And if you don't have to fiddle around with those orange discs right here, and you're using this mag pouch, obviously your tactical reloads are going to be much quicker. So you can just simply pull out the cylinder real quick. Like I was saying, it is easier with the Barkeep, but you can do it with the Rough Rider. You can't exactly do it with the Rancher. I did try. I have a Rancher, and it doesn't really work. Just basically because the gun's so heavy that whenever you try and fling it, it really kind of more or less hurts your hand than it does fling the cylinder out. So it's definitely just slightly more practical with the Barkeep. And while these orange discs are pretty cool and they do keep things pretty secure in there, as you can see from the shooting footage, I dropped the cylinder on the ground with just this disc on, and the ammo stayed secured in the cylinder. However, like I was saying before, you might want to just take a small piece of painter's tape to, give you that extra level of security if not using the pouch. But the pouch, I would say, would probably shave a couple seconds off your time, so you could probably get 12 shots off within under 20 seconds. In the shooting footage, I wasn't really trying that hard, but as you could see, I did it in about 22.3 seconds, I believe. So, but that was, spending a couple seconds fumbling around with the orange disc. But if speed isn't really necessary, reloading another cylinder is still simple and practical. But especially with this pouch, it just makes it slightly faster. And just to mention, also, you can carry more than one cylinder in this little pouch. So having 3 cylinders on you, that's 18 shots. That's going to be, I think, plenty of defense, especially with that Hornady critical defense in 22 mag. Let's just talk about one last thing, because I don't know if y'all are wondering, but after flinging the cylinder out a bunch of times, it still looks just fine. I mean, there's not really any scratches or dings on it. I haven't cleaned it since I shot it, so it's pretty dirty. But there are no, major gouges or dings or anything, or even really any little scratches for that matter. I mean, all these tiny little things are just kind of surface, scratches that can kind of be rubbed out. But yeah, I mean, that cylinder's fine. We got this cylinder right here that I really do love because it's got those flames on it. Come on, focus. There we go. But yeah, see, this cylinder looks pretty good. The other 2 cylinders in there too, I've also flung out a bunch of times, and they're perfectly fine. I would say between these 2 cylinders especially, I've probably, these have hit the ground dozens of times. It's all been on grass. I haven't flung them out onto any concrete or rocks or anything like that. So anyways, that's about it for this kind of goofy, almost pointless sort of video, but it's just something that's fun to do. I really enjoy these heritage revolvers just because they're just fun. I mean, they're very cheap, very, very, very cheap, and then also they're very customizable, and very simple to maintain, very simple to shoot. The triggers are really not bad at all. For a cheap gun, it's probably got one of the best triggers on the market. So that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and leave you there, and I'll see you guys in the next video.